Hello, how are you all doing today? This is Arun Raj. Welcome to our channel BioDelight. In today's class, we are going to learn about the various reproduction methods in organisms. Let us start our class from the definition of reproduction. It is an important biological process by which an organism gives rise to another organism similar to itself. Reproduction enables the continuity of the species generation after generation. It results in the formation of genetic variation. This genetic variation is inherited during reproduction. Reproduction involving a single parent is called asexual reproduction, and the reproduction involving two parents of opposite sexes with the fusion of male and female gametes is called sexual reproduction. Now we are going to learn about the detailed description of asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, only a single parent is involved in producing offspring. As a result, the offspring produced are identical to each other as well as to the parent. And this type of reproduction is common among single-celled organisms and in plants and animals with relatively simple organizations. It is also seen in multicellular organisms. In this topic, we are going to learn about some type of asexual reproduction. First one, fission. Second one, sporulation. Third one, budding. Fourth one, fragmentation. The most common modes of asexual reproduction seen in animals are as follows. First one, fission. This method is observed in the members of Protista and Monera. In fission, the division of the nucleus occurs first, which is then followed by the division of the cytoplasm. Subsequently, the mother cell splits into two equal-sized daughter cells. When the cytoplasmic division occurs in any direction, example amoeba, the fission is called simple binary fission. Transverse binary fission. When cytoplasm divides along the transverse axis of the individual, for example, paramecium and planaria. Longitudinal binary fission. When the cytoplasm divides the longitudinal axis of the individual, example, euglena and vorticels. Based on the number of daughter cells formed, it is classified into two types. First one, binary fission. Second one, multiple fission. Binary fission involves mitosis only, and consequently the resultant offspring are genetically identical to the parent. In some cases, the nucleus divides several times by amitotic division. This leads to the formation of multiple new copies of nuclei. Cytoplasmic division does not occur during this period. The cytoplasm collects around each nucleus, thus forms a single cell. Many unicellular and uninucleated offsprings are formed. This method of reproduction is called multiple fission. It takes place in amoeba and paramecium. And the second method is sporulation. It occurs during unfavorable conditions. Organisms like amoeba withdraw their pseudophodia and become round in shape. They create a protective, hard three-layered cyst around themselves. This process is called encystation. After that, under favorable condition, the nucleus of the encysted amoeba undergoes multiple division to form large number of amoeba. These structures are called pseudophodiopores. This process is called sporulation. The cyst then ruptures to release all new amoeba. In Plasmodium, this process occurs at a specific stage in its life cycle. The third method is budding. In this method, cells of some parts of the body of the animal undergoes repeated mitotic cell divisions. This leads to the formation of overgrown regions of cell masses. Such regions of cell masses that results due to mitosis are called bud. A young animal is developed from such a bud. It detaches itself from the parent body and lives as independent animal types. First one, exogenous budding. Such a bud produced on the outside of the body, for example, hydra. Second one, gemmules or internal buds. Enveloped cell mass developed towards the inside of the body are called as internal buds. Such gemmules can be seen in freshwater sponge like Spongella and marine sponge like Cichon. Each gemmule gives rise to a new animal. This is called endogenous budding. The method 4 is fragmentation. In this method of reproduction, the body becomes fragmented into several different parts. Each part develops the remaining body parts and become a complete animal. This capacity is known as regeneration. Example: planaria, hydra, starfish. And these four methods are some examples of asexual reproduction in animals. And the next topic is asexual reproduction in plants. The commonly observed modes of asexual reproduction in plants are as follows. The first one is fission. It is the simplest of all sexual methods. It is commonly found in algae, fungi, and Monera. In this process, the unicellular mother cell divides mitotically to form two daughter cells that are identical to each other as well as the mother cell. Each daughter cell eventually grows into an independent organism. The second method is buds. Some algae produce adventitious branches like Dictyota, fucus, or buds like Protosiphon. Fungus like yeast produces buds. These structures are a result of unequal division and are attached to the parent cell. They eventually get separated and mature into a new organism. Third method is fragmentation. The vegetative thallus or hyphae break up into small segments due to mechanical pressure. Each segment is capable of growing into a new mycelium. This method is observed in some algae like Edogonium spirogyra and in fungi like Mucor rhizophus. Method 4. Spore formation. Asexual reproduction takes place by a variety of motile and non-motile spores or conidia. Ciliated motile asexual spore called zoospores are produced by algae and fungi. These zoospores swim into the water for some time with the help of their flagella. They later directly develops into a new independent individuals under favorable condition. Example: Elothrix, Chlamydomonas, Edogonium. Terrestrial fungi have non-flagellated and non-motile spores or conidia. These spores are therefore light and dry. They are also provided with a tough coat and are well developed for dispersal by wind. Example: Penicillium and Aspergillus. The structure bearing true spores is the sporangium. The sporangium is always present on the sporophyte. Thus, the sporophyte multiplies rapidly in an asexual manner to generate large number of spores. Some ferns like Nephrolophis bear spores and reproduce asexually by them. These plants are homosporous, bear only one kind of spores, while in Selaginella, a pteridophyte, and gymnosperms or heterospores bear two types of spores. And the next one is artificial method of asexual reproduction in plants, in which some part of a plant organ is utilized for obtaining a new complete plant. Amongst them, the most common methods are cutting, layering, and grafting. We are going to learn these three topics also in brief. In artificial method of cutting, the cut pieces of root when planted in moist soil leads to the artificial inducement and development of adventitious roots. New plants are developed in this way in lemon and tamarind. In rose, sugarcane, crotons, china rose, and chrysanthemum, plants are developed by cutting that involve stem piece containing nodes. They are planted in moist soil to develop new plants. Adventitious roots develop from the underground part of the stem, whereas buds develop and sprout on the aerial parts of the stem. The plants so developed is called a cutting. Later, these cuttings are transplanted in proper places. Layering is an artificial method and it is employed in the cultivation of rose, lemon, grape, hibiscus, and jasmine. The lower branches of the plants are bent and covered with the soil in such a way that the tip of the branch remains outside the soil and the middle portion is buried inside the soil. Adventitious roots will develop from this buried region of plant stem. At the time, this branch is cut and separated from the parent plant. Thus, a new plant is obtained. Another method is grafting. Grafting is practiced in plants which have difficulty in establishing roots or generally have weak rooted system. In this method, two plants of the same or different kinds are joined together. This is achieved by bringing the tissues of the two plants in direct contact with each other. The meristematic tissue of both plants divide and multiply, and eventually the cells of each plant fuse together. The rooted plant is called stock plant. The plant which is being grafted on it is called scion. A plant possessing higher and desirable character is selected as scion. The stock is usually a strong, sturdy, and hardy variety. Mango, apple, pear, citrus, lychee, and many other fruit yielding plants are thus obtained and maintained. Grafting may be of different types, namely bud grafting, side grafting, and tongue grafting, wedge grafting, and crown grafting, depending on the methods of uniting the two parts. The next topic is significance of vegetative reproduction. Vegetative reproduction is an ideal method of reproduction in plants where we wish to retain parental traits, and it is ideal for plants with less efficient sexual reproduction, small seeds, long seed dormancy, poor seed viability, etc. can also be multiplied easily through this method. Vegetative reproduction is useful in obtaining disease-free plants. Grafting can be used to bring together the desired characters from two plants. In this class, we learn about the various methods of asexual reproduction in animals and plants and their significance. If you are having any doubts or if you want to explain any topic, leave it in the comments. See you in the next class. Never stop learning. In the next class, we are going to learn about the sexual reproduction in animals and plants. Subscribe to our channel Bio Delight. Thank you for listening. Bye.